There it is, guys. A printer's about to go off. Literally hit record.
John Hastings. That was the sound of John Hastings. I am Dylan Gott. John Hastings out here owning a printer in 2024. What's that like? How do you achieve
The
that
fucking
level of
best. It's the
success?
fucking best.
The
First of all,
alpha
printers
mindset.
in COVID were $30. I bought a printer. I'll tell you when I bought a printer. The second day into lockdown, I got an email from Staples and it was like, we're having a 50% off sale. And I was like, your printers are already $40. I bought a printer for $20
Fuck,
with tax.
I really need to go back in my old emails but the emails I was getting from fucking companies in like April were like, it would be like, I don't know how Little Caesars got my email, but they did. I've never eaten at Little Caesars in
Congratulations.
my life.
First of all, that just shows that at some point your marriage was on the rocks. That's how you get on the Little Caesars mailing list. You know what I'm saying?
Buddy, a
He might
hot and
be
ready. A hot and ready is like Arby's. It's like if you want a hot and ready in Arby's, that's a certain body type. You're always at risk of being grossly overweight.
I don't even know what a hot and ready is.
That's what the hot and ready. It's Little Caesars. They pre-make all their pizzas. Little Caesars is just, hey, I'm too lazy to put a fucking restaurante pizza in my oven.
I think I've eaten there one time. Yeah, I ate there one time.
You can do some good fucking things with a restaurante pizza. Does anyone want to hear? No. Okay, too bad. Sorry, heckler in this house. Here's what you can do with a restaurante pizza. They are so cardboard-like that they make great buns. So you just fucking overcook it a bit, and then you fucking get a cheeseburger on. You get a burger on there. You dress it. You got a restaurante pizza, baby.
Yeah, restaurante pizza.
Pizza buns, burger, eat it. Here's the best thing you got to do. Have a bathtub because a toilet won't hold the diarrhea you're about to have. It's going to spray out and away and up, maybe.
You're going to want to be able to capture it because you'll want to show it to medical professionals.
At very minimum, you want to sit inside the bowl because the up and away it'll spray shit everywhere. Here's my favorite thing about a roommate I ever heard was, and this was a girl who one of my friends had as a roommate, and then I called her spray dumps because she would spray dump everywhere. Yo. And then they were like, hey, could you, if you don't mind, if you could get around to it, wipe your fucking spray dumps up? And then she was like, nah. And she would only do it. There was a toilet in his bedroom that he paid extra for, and she would walk into his bedroom, have her spray dumps, and then be like, can you not spray dump in my fucking bedroom? And then she was like, yeah, I don't know. The liberal media. No, she wouldn't say that. She would just talk about how hard it was for her.
I think I know who this was.
Of course you do, but I'm not like you. I don't give specifics out. I don't want anyone to get doxxed.
This person, if this person has an online profile at this point, it's
spray dumps.
Spray dumps? I think
spray dumps. I don't think does. Spray dumps does not. Spray dumps, good nickname. Also, my guy was like, hey, have you, one time, was it when I was just out of college, a guy asked me if I had like read the book The Godfather and said it was better than the movie, and I just called him book movie.
It is not better than the movie. It has so many chapters about a lady who's got a fat pussy.
I mean, a deep pussy?
No, fat and wide. She only likes Sonny Corleone because he's got a big dick, so she can make him come. And that is many chapters of that book. That book,
Beast in My Cunt. That's what the original book was called.
Exactly. The thing with The Godfather is it's a great movie, but when you read the book, you're like, yeah, Francis Ford Coppola is smart. He knows how to edit because they're literally like, yeah, focus on the family. Unlike Mario Puzo, who's like, we need 3 fucking chapters on the guy who sings at the wedding.
Man, the fact that fucking Robert Evans takes credit for The Godfather, and basically the whole thing was like, I want Italians. That was my idea. Have an Italian guy in it. That's
which he also didn't. He was because he's literally he's since been
he was begging for James Caan.
He was and Robert Redford. He was like, Robert Redford plays Michael Corleone. What are you fucking
Michael? And we're gonna change that last name. That's fucking disgusting. Michael Corey.
Yeah, he's Michael Smith. Michael Robinson. Some nice Italians. They're nice Italians with Irish descent, right? Right, Francis?
This week we're going to talk about chat roulette. And if we get into it, Doja Cat. Basically,
we're not talking about Doja Cat. Dylan is
I want to talk about Doja Cat.
Canceled
because here's how they correlate. Doja Cat is a rapper, a bunch of stuff. Remember how when we're millennials, I've heard this shared amongst people our age for a long time. Man, I'm so glad the internet isn't as involved as it was. Like when I was a kid, I just got to be a fucking asshole and none of it comes back onto me as an adult. She, Doja Cat, drops out of high school and not only starts making the rap music, but also was on this thing called Tiny Chat, which is just like
What?
4chan
Oh, no, 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 no,
people.
no,
So
no.
she's
I don't know what
talking
it's
like
going to be.
freely with 4chan people.
What
And
year?
fuck you, I don't know. I should have looked that up. How does that sound, fuckhead?
All
That
right.
was about like I didn't get that far into the research just because I decided there it was a discussion that's not befit for two middle-aged jacked guys who fucking Doja Cat would probably want to fucking
First of all, only I am jacked.
spray dump
Second of
on.
all,
How much you
here's the thing.
bench?
I don't keep
You
track.
don't. You don't then.
I don't
So
keep
you're out
track.
of the running.
No, I don't bench. My favorite was that there was a host at one of the shows I was doing who was a personal trainer and like so if you want to like know if a person's a personal trainer, just ask them about CrossFit and they'll start losing their mind. Like these fucking people. Anyway, a guy in the front row was like, I work at Orange Theory, and she just started screaming about him in kinesiology language. Like, are you aware of what you're doing to the tendon linings? And it was one of the most sad, like, it was this one of the most satisfying moments of stand-up comedy where I'm like, this is just this person getting some revenge, and I like it.
Oh yeah. I mean, CrossFit for guys, at least me personally, never ever 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 because it would just destroy all my bones. I'd be like, yeah, I did 30 pull-ups anyway. My wife has to take care of my son now because I am bedridden.
What's really fun, and this has nothing to do with Doja Cat or Chat Roulette, but
It
welcome to the
doesn't.
podcast, is I have a rebuilt shoulder and two rebuilt elbows. There's
Whoa, the
so much
sperminator.
the fucking metallator, baby. I come screws. Goo 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 are the noises I make. The thing you have to understand about that is when I go to the gym, I'm a 6'4" man, so people assume that A, I'm a gym bro, and B, people love to correct my form at the gym. Does anyone correct your form at the gym, Dylan?
I don't I have a home gym with a squat rack. The only thing I correct is fucking the 2014 Toronto Raptors when I play PlayStation 3 in between sets.
Oh yeah, baby.
I live the life of a king. Chat roulette, because I think chat roulette. So the way I work Doja Cat and chat roulette is the same thing as
I don't think you did. I think that you're fucking doing this off the fly. I could tell you just gave me the Dylan's angry look. Daddy's
no,
angry.
I didn't. This is me as happy. Chat roulette was the like, and a lot of people source this as it's like the last anonymity thing that went viral on the internet before it was like, oh, it's
Oh, yeah.
2010, lock the doors. It's time for you. Everything you do online is fucking hard tracked now. If you thought about maybe getting a chair, that chair will now follow you around the world until your dying breath. Whereas chat roulette is like, hey, you go on the site, you click start, and you just fucking can chat with anybody.
Here's
Now
the
it's
thing that I think
changed
about.
now, but now if you go on chat roulette, it's like Tinder. You have to basically accept or reject the person.
Yeah.
Basically, it's trying to ward out what did happen, which was,
Penis.
oh, you can talk to anybody in the world. This is cool. The estimate was 1 in 8 is someone jacking off, which I think is so low.
So low. As someone who used it, like there was one that it was just always a penis. You would always get a penis.
Yes, so people would set up their webcam that was just a video of a guy jacking off all the time, and that is crazy.
Yeah, which is, by the way, well, like, how did we not know the internet was going to do exactly what it did when we look at, like, bear in mind, not everyone had an iPhone in these years. I went to a chat roulette bingo night. I think Dylan was fucking there.
I never saw Chat Roulette Bingo, but it was a show in Toronto where people would, Chat Roulette Bingo was just like how much chat roulette before a guy's jacking off, and it was like so much.
So, my God, the middle square was a penis. That's the one I remember because you got it like, I was like, a penis, really? And Diana Love, throwback comedian from the 2010s, went, there's a lot of penises here.
Oh, and the other thing is like, all these guys jacking off would see is just a whole crowd cheering for them jacking off, which is so funny.
Their dream. Like literally they're like, how is someone reading my wish journal?
So it is, and I'm gonna ruin the man's name, but the creator is Andrei Timovsky, and he is a Russian man.
Here we fucking go. Putin at it again, Dylan. We did it. We cracked the code.
He invents it when he's 17.
Vladimir
and
Putin. This is a precursor to Ukraine. I am Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
It's like chat roulette and dabbing have the same amount of time that they were popular.
Which type of dabbing? Weed dabbing or Kyle Legacy?
Fucking, the classic fucking boom, panda, dab, dab, dab.
Kyle.
Dab, dab, dab.
Legacy.
Chat roulette. And
I like to cross my legs with the dab. When you do the dab, that was my move. I added a little spin. They call that the Hastings. John.
So the site initially has 20 users, then it doubles for a while.
To 40.
And he launches it. It has about 500 visitors per day. And then 1 month, there's 50,000. And it was a thing where it's like, whoa, you can chat. Because video chatting was so new at this point, and you didn't have a username. There was no like now. It was so frustrating. I was trying to listen to an article about chat roulette because I was doing chores around the house yesterday, and just trying to find a text to speech website that used to be on a Windows, like if it Windows 8 had text to speech. Yeah. But now they removed it because everyone wants to sell a subscription to their shitty fucking website
aggregator. Exactly.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you want to get an Apple? Well, now you have to log into this thing and enter a password. You have to have a password to have a password. So everyone wants your fucking email and shit. So anyway, that was so frustrating. And that wasn't a thing at Chat Roulette. It was just log in, press start.
Log in. There was no logging in.
No. You go on the website, press start. Oh, it's a guy jacking off. That's not a guy jacking off. So I go, guy jacking off. Better let him finish. That's how we worked it, right? You have to watch the guy finish.
Oh, I mean, I'd do it with him. I'd encourage. Woo!
But that's what you would do. It was like
mole on the head of your penis.
It was a thing you could do where it's like, all right, we're not doing anything tonight. Let's just get some drinks and some smokes and fucking go on Chat Roulette and chill.
I never did that. I only ever actually saw it when I went to Chat Roulette Bingo. Like did you ever hang out in a fucking not painted apartment? Like, place that was carpeted and they put a computer desk in the living room and just fucking had at it with some beers and went on Chat Roulette. Did you ever do that?
Yeah, that's all the time. Doing nothing but like you feel like you're doing something. That's my jam, dude.
I mean, I agree, but like that's why I wouldn't do fucking Chat Roulette. You know what I mean? This was the fucking 2010s. I would smoke cigarettes, the original Chat Roulette. I'm doing something.
Dude, I was 24 years old. This was when like I had no money.
First of all,
and booze.
So was I.
I know, but you ran your life differently. All I did was fucking get drunk and sit down.
I mean, I ran my life somewhat similar. Nah, not really. I was out there. I was moving. I was grooving.
Yeah, exactly. You were outside. I was not. I was inside, sitting down.
That's not true. We hung out. Actually, it was every night. So yeah, no, you are correct. It was nighttime when you came out, when you came looking.
Oh yeah, buddy. And I'm fucking getting drunk on a Friday by myself. Because this is before
Monday. First of all, it was a Monday.
This is before, like, I have a day job. I am doing weeknight comedy. I'm getting drunk on the weekend. This is fucking.
You're getting drunk on the weekdays. There's the amount of times that I remember we're having fucking cheap beer. We're not having actually looking back, we're cheap beers, but for the time, expensive beers at the Rivoli, and you kept being like, I got work tomorrow. And then we just would buy more beer.
I was like, I don't like my job. I'm like, well, you are visibly drunk for every day, so maybe it's you don't like being hungover for a job. But anyway,
yeah, I think it's it's the funny thing of like people always talk about. My friend was talking about when we lived in Montreal. And she was like, man, I just hated Montreal then. And I was like, you did coke every night. I think you hated being hungover from cocaine every day.
I think you just don't like being a cokehead. But 89% of people were male, 11% of people, this was a study, and
were fucking prudes and not showing me their tits.
Yeah, 8% of spins showed multiple people behind the camera. There's an old YouTube video online where old Andre is showing a CNN business reporter Chat Roulette, and it's like fucking insane because CNN, knowing what Chat Roulette is, gets like a pretty girl to use Chat Roulette with this guy.
But you
have to get Lou Dobbs on there.
Oh yeah,
get fucking
Where are you? Where you better
that
not be
looks
in
like an
America.
immigrant penis. Next.
You better
There's
not
a
be in
strong white
America with
penis.
that penis. That's so big.
Get it out of here.
Lou, that's a vagina. That penis is huge. I've never seen it.
Yeah. But yeah,
they get my wife stand completely naked in the dark. I'm in a different house. She describes her body to me, and I think about it. I don't know how we have kids.
This is what now you have to like explain who you are in chat roulette. It's like back then it was just like dive right in, baby. But this is what I'm saying is like
explaining who I am on a
you
website.
have to have a chat roulette profile if you want to be on chat roulette.
Then I'm going back to the old fashioned way of maybe seeing a penis out in society. I'm hanging out near the bus station and quickly turning corners. You know what I mean? Not giving them a chance to cover up their peens.
Oh yeah, chat roulette just completely changed the dynamics of being a pervert. Now you could just be inside, dude. It's great.
What's crazy is the internet has always been a bus station in a part of town that's bad, but for like a long time we've acted like, oh my god, this is a wonderful farmer's market, and we're like, they're selling jars of blood and everything has a cock drawn on it. Like, what are you talking? This isn't a good place. Only human beings would be like, what do we use this for? Well, there's 95% of it is porn, and 5% of it is a website where you will definitely see a penis. We got to make sure that everyone uses this to get their news. In no way will that affect people's psyches. Great.
Yeah, it is. It's a scummy part of town with one library. That's what the internet is.
Yeah, and the library is being owned and operated. All the books in the library are written by characters you and I would come up with. My name is Jimmy Penis Face, and I've written Great Expectations for those tits.
This is I mean, obviously, chat roulette has problems immediately because it's just people jacking off, and then sometimes children would use it.
Sometimes, Dylan.
So the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children talks to CBS and is like, this is terrible. And then
this is also this is the great time of the internet with doing something fucked up. And this was still when the news thought, well, if we say it once at 6 p.m., it's conquered. We took care. Like,
this is we've talked about this where we talked about this in the Anonymous episode. The
Senate is currently having fucking hearings about protecting children when it comes to social media apparati. And like they are essentially
that are 20 years too late.
Yeah, they are 30 years too late. And like Mark Zuckerberg's answers, like effectively are like, I mean, why are you yelling at me? I'm rich. Like, I mean, what are you doing? I'm a rich guy.
So here, I want you to watch this video. This is the video I was talking about with the CNN business reporter, which I think like if this business reporter wanted to make a huge deal out of this, she could. People would be pissed, but people are pissed with everything. So they could totally make a big deal out of this because, like, I think part of the thing is this CNN had to know. CNN had to know that it was like, okay, we're doing a business thing.
You're giving CNN way too much benefit of the doubt, my baby, my baby, my darling.
What do you mean benefit of the doubt? So my benefit of the doubt in this case would be that they don't know that chat roulette is just for guys jacking off.
Correct. They don't. You have to imagine. So it's 2010. So the boss at CNN has been there for 30 years. He started in the 80s.
Okay.
And he's just like, I don't know, it's the internet. There's nerds there. Use a pretty lady. They'll be impressed by that we have a pretty lady. You understand? This was still in the time where it's like, you have a computer, you must be a nerd and also somehow gay. Like, you're not properly giving it the context.
Well, this guy definitely doesn't dispel the nerd theory. So here we go.
We're on to the next. All right, let's just get one. Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, just dealing with internet democracy.
Like immediately sees a hog, and then he's like, "No, chat roulette's a good way to fucking bond with people at society.
Yeah, it's a good way to see other people's penises, don't you like that?
I've showed you mine on my phone, and now you're seeing it on a screen.
When are you going to expose your holes?
So we've seen a little bit of profanity, but look, did you ever think it'd get as big as it is?
Is she talking about the penis?
20 people. Very big for me. And especially it's interesting when there are parties connected with parties.
Yeah.
So it's like
cool when there are a bunch of people looking at a bunch of people.
I started this just as a. I was with it.
And it's just her. Sorry.
Who's that other guy? Who's that other guy? Go back. Go back. There was like a lurking third guy.
Oh, this guy.
There's someone.
He speaks German now.
What are you guys doing?
Come on, chat roulette with us.
I think I am on.
This is the founder of TechCrunch who also
Oh,
wants to see
God.
some hogs.
I assume this guy sucks. Oh, he's the founder of Tech. For those of you who don't know what TechCrunch is, it's Davos for people that definitely have been to an orgy but didn't participate.
I remember when it started too. Everyone was like, well, Jessica Alba uses chat roulette a lot. And it's like, wow, I guess Jessica Alba wants to see guys jack off. Like,
Yeah, like
I remember thinking like, so Jessica, which is like,
So Jessica,
if
Alba
people are
wants to
already
see
using something to
me
jack off, and then
Yeah.
Jessica Alba is like, that's like, now
That's
people
like-
who
that would
don't
be like
normally
saying-
jack off into a camera are gonna
Wait a
fucking
minute, wait a
jack
minute.
off.
What do you mean there's a bunch of great whites in the kiddie pool? There's a
Yeah.
bunch of great whites in the kiddie pool, and the only way I know how to deal with that is put a bunch of blood in the pool. So, all right, let's see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's insane. Where it's like chat roulette hearing Jessica Alba was on chat roulette started my public indecency career.
Yeah, I assume when Jessica Alba went on chat roulette, it was like some sort of weird bet the devil made with God. Like, I bet I can make 1 million dudes with back knee jack off in the next 15 minutes.
So- This was and the founder of it, old Andre, basically says that it's all luck. It's all luck. And I honestly believe Mr. Andre because I think that's a really healthy way to look at it. Now, I want you to say this.
No, it's not.
Do you remember when Chat Roulette tried to ban dicks and then it just like, that's why it stopped. They stopped. They were like, we're banning, like
Yeah,
we have
so
a thing
it's-
that consents if
Roulette's
you
up
do
there with-
nudity. And
It's
then
up there with
yeah.
Tumblr of they banned
Pervs.
the peanut, they banned the pervs, C and L.
oh yeah, it's like,
Tumblr's
oh
the
wait,
best
our
one.
entire
Tumblr is the best one because it was literally the day they banned porn. They were like, well, we're bankrupt. Like, what do you mean? It's like,
So old Andre, what's
hold
Andre
on.
up to now, you think?
I assume he is part of the Wagner forces and he's on the front line of Ukraine.
Can you do me a favor and actually guess? Because you will get it right, I'm sure. Just do me a favor. Quick guess. It's right there.
Embezzled a bunch of money, now works in porn.
I really hope, John. What is he? Of course, here's what he's doing. He's gone to the European country with the least taxes. He believes in the free market. And you guessed it. He made a ton of money on Ethereum. Let's go.
Yes. Yes.
And then he has a very funny interview. Here's how funny Chat Roulette is that
Oh, yeah,
this
baby.
lady writes a book on people on the crypto market and like how the lie of crypto is that you're just a regular person and you can get big off of in the crypto market. Everyone's equal in the crypto market, I should say. And
Correct.
it's a lie because like whales come in and they dictate
Yeah.
or whatever. But it's still better than the stock market. That is the thesis of the book. Anyway, and she thanks the guy, old Andre, the man who created Chat Roulette, in the interview for giving him so much of her time. And he just basically goes, "Oh no one asks for interviews." And she goes, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then it just becomes clear. You see her realize it's like, oh, I could start a podcast with this guy. I don't need to do one interview. But he just talks about how taxes are bad and how the free market is good. But it's also this thing where he's like 31 now. He came up with Chat Roulette when he was 17.
God.
But you get a vibe like he's a 31-year-old grandpa who just wants to talk about the war, but no one will because he's like, I moved to a country with the least amount of taxes. All my friends lived where there was a ton of taxes. I'm alone now.
Where does he live? Moldova?
Like Lux. He said Lux.
Oh, he lives in Luxembourg.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, because he wants to live in a nice Scandinavian country, but also doesn't want to be taxed at all or pay for fucking roads.
Yeah, of course not. Yeah, he's just gonna be like,
He doesn't want to build libraries. He wants people to use his website to jack off in them.
Exactly. And by that I mean he wants people to go to the buildings that used to be a library and jack off there. He calls
The
them-
idea of being like CNN business, here's a pretty reporter, she's going to use your
I
website,
can't
and this
believe
guy
that this
has
blows
to
your mind.
know.
I
This guy
can't. I
has to know
disagree.
she's going to see a dick.
Oh, Andre knows. Andre knows. But
Andre's like, all right.
But
Here's
in
a
his
dick,"
mind,
and she's
he's
like,
going-
ah! And he's like,
but in
yeah,
mind,
man.
he's going, that'll make it a good clip. That'll sell my business. Like the thing you have to realize about all entrepreneurs is they get into a thing where it's like, nothing is bad for them. Nothing's bad for me. Only bad for them. I'm the company. You know what I mean? Where it's like,
But
I
she
win.
had to know there was going to be a dick.
I don't think
She was
did.
young enough. She was young enough to know there was.
I don't
She was
think that-
like, "Oh,
you're
I'm being
giving-
forced to see a dick at work."
No, shut up. You're not thinking
Weinstein
about.
produced that segment. Okay.
Well, I didn't know that. But the thing you have to remember is it's 2000 and like 9, 10, 11, 12. A huge segment of the population does know about that. And then a huge segment of the population is like, what are you talking about? The internet's just net. Oh my God. You know what I mean? Like,
But I mean, like, honestly, it's like CNN business. How are you going to sell this bust? Like, you're selling like a back alley?
it's basically they're like, well, we've taken this nun to a brothel. We don't know what a brothel is.
Yeah. There was an ad for free singles. It's like, so it was like the same thing as like, it's kind of fucking, I guess, a Trojan horse, but the horse is filled with guys jacking off because it's like, hey, you could talk to anyone in the world who's jacking off.
I know, but it's actually no. But I gotta say, like, it's what it is it's like it's a Trojan horse, and on top of it, there is a statue of a guy jacking off, and you're like, why is there a statue of a guy jacking off on that horse? And Andre is just like, you'll see, and then
That would actually be dope, though, if the Trojan horse was just filled with guys going, ooh, 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 ooh,
I gotta stop. I like to edge. I like to edge. I like to edge. I like to edge.
They're just like, how come your horse is making weird?
Yeah.
When we see
Why
him,
is-
that's when we get to release.
Why is your horse got the vibe of a guy who is divorced? But that's been a long.
There's 300 guys who just finished. I think we should move out of town. I don't want to live here anymore. The
Yeah.
Trojan horse has worked.
Oh my God, 300 guys just came at the same time, fell asleep at the same time, woke up at the same time, got a sandwich at the same time, farted at the same time. We have to leave Greece.
So what we're gonna do? So this really segues into Tiny Chat because Tiny Chat
I don't even know what the
Is-
fuck Tiny Chat is.
Tiny Chat's the same idea as Chat Roulette, but it's like 8 people just talking at once. And I don't understand how it happened, but like everything was taped. And the thing about Doja Cat is she is dually one of the most famous musicians in the world and one of the first internet children, where she's 28 now. She drops out of school at 17. I mean, she never says this explicitly, but like she's just one of those people who just drops out and spends all of her time at home doing nothing in her room, seemingly depressed and smoking weed, and writes music, has a lot of talent, gets a record deal. But like beneath that, like beautiful woman with a lot of talent lies like I was raised by 4chan essentially.
Yeah.
So she has all this recorded shit of her talking to fucking guys who looked exactly like us because she would go to these fucking chat rooms with these guys who never talked to any girl and just be like, hey, I'm gorgeous. I'm just going to say a bunch of shit and like fucking basically flirt with these guys who
She basically
are said to be alt-right. But the other thing is like, this is all inferred off of their usernames.
Yeah, this is also depending on the time. It's before a time that those guys found out there were others like them. Like they might just be like, I live alone in this town. I don't like them. I don't talk about it. And that's the thing with the internet is the internet brought together so many people that had those thoughts deep buried in their hateful heads, but they never actually expressed them in a meaningful way. And then they were like, would you like to be part of a movement?
And this is the other thing is she's like being racist and saying the N-word, but in deep 4chan lingo. Like she's not saying the N-word. She's saying words that mean the
Yeah,
N-word.
so she's going to be using like 4chan speak like, oh my
Yeah,
God, what's one of
but
them? Like,
using that to make guys who are like pretty much us laugh. Like guys
Yeah,
who
like
look
she's-
exactly like us back
Yeah.
then laugh. So it's like very
then, no,
triggering
no.
for anyone.
oh yeah, like, yeah, I've read too many of these fucking books about 4chan at this point. So I know the slangs are so fucking annoying. You're like, that's your racism, you fucking.
And it also changes like every fucking 9 seconds. So it's really hard to keep track of. And this is so crazy. It says so much about the world where like she doesn't lose all her fans. Like just as she's getting her big break,
I
this
know nothing about this person.
old racism shit comes out and it looks like, oh, she's done, but she powers through and is still popular. And then she has like a fucking meltdown, shaves her head, shaves her eyebrows, starts like
No idea.
using demonic imagery and loses basically 1 million followers in a month just by going online and being like, everyone all of her fan accounts she calls fucking losers. And like it's just someone, she reached her internet maximum internet at such an early age, it just starts fucking attacking her own fans.
I like that.
That's the thing, man. That's the thing. This is the complicated thing about Doja Cat. There's a lot of stuff like that is super funny. Her first single went to #1 because she said, if it goes to #1, I'm going to show you my tits. And then says, oh yeah, I'm not doing that. Thanks for #1. Like that's all.
And I respect that so much.
But then after that, that's when all the tiny chats come out where she basically like used incels, or not incels, but horn dogs to fucking get her to #1. And then never
horn dog community.
The horn dogs were like, are you going to fucking mess with us?
Yeah. Do you not understand? This is all we have.
All I had was seeing your tits, and now you fucking rip that away from me?
Yeah, this is the other thing where it's like, yeah, bro, what do you think is going to fucking happen? It's also like, it's that thing you can see people like constantly trying to get more away from their audience. Like there's like in that way of like people not understanding the audience that they have built through some of their behaviors. Like I assume you don't know who Tim Pool is, but Tim Pool is currently having a bunch of meltdowns because he's doing more and more live shows. And the theory is he's met who his fans are. And he's like, oh, I'm never going to get to be a Vice reporter again. I'm now a guy who wears a fucking beanie who justifies the bad things that the bad men say. Like, it's one of those things where you're like, the internet is so pretentious to say, but it's a looking glass, but you never, like, this has been said 1,000 times, it's the Palantir from fucking Lord of the Rings. You can look in and it gives you all sorts of amazing information and insight, but you don't know who else is watching you get that, and you don't know who's putting their little shit in there that will explode. I still don't know what a tiny chat is. I still don't know who Doja Cat is, but it sounds like she's been through a lot, and I hope that she eventually appears with Elton John at a music awards show.
This is directly from Wikipedia. TinyChat is an online website that allows users to communicate via instant messaging, voice messaging, and video chat. It offers instant opportunities for to meet people and the ability for users to create their own virtual chat room on any topic or category. TinyChat is a web-based platform that works on HTML5. I know that's very important for you, John, is to know how it works.
I mean, I'm really happy that you told me it was HTML5 because I was about to be like, these fucking pieces of shit sound like they're still running fucking JavaScript.
Yeah, so it's like TinyChat next difference from Chat Roulette with the addition of topic-based rooms. So you're going in with a specific topic in mind.
This is the worst thing.
That's the 4chanification where it's like she's probably in TinyChat /poll.
Oh God, yeah, like that's the thing. Like even the story of Poll is the best, where they were, where stupid fucking Christopher Poole at stupid 4chan was like, holy shit, there's a lot of Nazis on this board. All right, I better make a politically incorrect board. What are you going to call it? I won't call it politically incorrect. I'll call it Poll. Well, that just makes it seem like you've just told everyone you discuss politics here on 4chan, and those politics are that of the Third Reich, you fucking child.
Yeah, but she has to like basically she has to like back up. She actually backs up. The only thing she's ever backed up and said was the only thing she's ever backed up on was like this old song, once again encoded weird 4chan language. It's called Didn't Do, which is like a fucking
I was like, I bet you it's gonna be, because that's the big 4chan slang for black people, as they call them Didn't Do Nothings or DDN.
So that is a song that she made, I get, and was released, and because the 4chan language she uses is the racist part. She said she sunk a dunker, which is a dog whistle for the N-word hard R. So it's like not only so you feel like such a like old guy.
Shut the fuck up. The internet
just asked me to stop talking, you stupid fucking
No,
idiot.
I like to do it with aggression. The internet racists make the Confederacy seem like reasonable, cool dudes, in that it's like the most fucking we're not going to say the N-word. They're a hookah-booka. Like, fuck you, you fucking children.
Well, because the fucking thought police come for our words. No, but that's what they have. So it's like
I know they're using it's a way to subvert censorship and also do exactly what happened to Doja Cat, which is she doesn't necessarily realize she doesn't realize she's communicating literally with the editor of the Daily Stormer. She thinks it's another 17-year-old, and suddenly she's literally like reading Mein Kampf in front of a sign that says "This is cool."
Imagine those fucking MSN statuses come back. And I don't mean racist wise. I mean like how emo I was. I'd rather racism come out.
My favorite one was "No longer a virgin." I remember someone wrote in high school they apparently someone they knew that this guy banged because he wrote that was his MSN status. Woo!
I mean, fellow comedian in arms, Adam Christie, used to have a big skit about this, but someone in his high school went on MSN and their status was RIP Summer. And they got a bunch of messages because there was a girl in their school named Summer, but that was just, she was RIP, the character in the OC Summer.
I thought he
so
was
like Summer's own parents were frantically trying to get a fucking get her on the phone.
I just thought he was just sad the season was over. I didn't even know there was a character in the OC named
No, there was
Summer.
a girl at a school named Summer, and yeah, people fully thought that woman was dead because of this one lady's like, yeah, man, died in a car crash.
It's really good.
And everyone was like, what the fuck? Summer was out last night. So anyway, John, yeah. So this is it's so weird. Like now racism, now you feel like fucking you just walked into a fucking grade 7 party where someone has booze and you have to figure out what booze it is. And then you're like, you kids got to stop drinking booze. And then they hand you the booze they have and it's like sourpuss. And you're like, this even count as booze? But John, if there's one thing I want you to do is
take a fat shit because that's what's up next on my day.
But the other thing about Doji is that
no, we're not doing that. I fucking hate that.
No, I hate Doji.
No.
DC.
I muted myself. Shit.
Her entire career is insane because she gets signed at 17. They release an album. It sucks. And then she just on her webcam makes a music video where she raps as a cow who hasn't been milked in a while and goes viral. And then they use the steam from that to put out her third album. And that's the one that goes big and she becomes a star. So it's like usually with these like musicians, it's like if you don't have your first or second album sell a bunch of shit, you're fucked. But she does on our third. So it's like oddly like, oh, she's only 28 now, but she's like been grinding for a while. So like it's kind of more earned than you would say most quick stardom rises are. But the other thing about it is that basically she does this big transformation as like she shaves her head. She's like, fuck this. I don't want to fucking be famous anymore or whatever. Correct. She goes nuts. She does like basically a full Britney meltdown, but the thing is, it's a lot more calculated. Like she wears a t-shirt. This is how in the internet she is. She wears a t-shirt with, do you know who Sam Hyde is?
Yeah, I was about to get to that. Yeah.
And she wears a Sam Hyde t-shirt, which is always shared around by his fans. Cause it's so funny. Cause I feel like we were almost we weren't going to be as like widely known as Sam Hyde, but we had like the same at some point trolley fan base.
Yeah.
Where like, his own fans every single time take this one picture of him holding a gun and just say every time there's a mass shooting, just say it's him.
I mean, that's the good one. The one that is, and I shouldn't laugh, but they have successfully done this more than once, gotten different photos of Anthony Cumia on cable news as this is the perpetrator of this crime. And it is horrendous that they have done that on one hand. On the other hand, couldn't happen to a bigger piece of shit, and it's really funny every time that the news does not know how to do a fucking Google image search. One of them, he was on a radio microphone, and they're like, this is the perpetrator of the Bataclan attack, and you're like, it says Opie and behind him, you fucking idiots.
This is the thing about Sam Hyde, where I have watched a couple things on Sam Hyde. I don't really know who the guy is. Some of the shit he's done, I think is funny. Like he fucking did a TED Talk where they said he just said he was a Brooklyn filmmaker and got a TED Talk where he's in like a fucking, he's in a chest plate.
I love that so much because I always assumed Ted was a piece of shit organization because of the people that really liked it in 2008 when I started going to fun parties at the Arcade Fire we're at, and all of the guys that later were
name
Me
drop.
Too'd. Thank you. I thought they were bad then. I remember saying this band will never make it, and I was incorrect.
Well, yeah, I mean that was. Hey man, there was a time.
Yeah, I was fat wearing a leather jacket.
Everyone
What the
needs
fuck did I know?
19 people on stage, and then
Yeah.
one of them's just actively making a zucchini. I don't know how.
Yeah, exactly. What do you
zucchini.
play? This water bottle?
The legit. There was just 30 people. One guy's like, "Is that guy? What's he doing? He's just trying on pants. See if he."
I mean,
likes
my
one of the
favorite,
pants."
the best example of this, and Dylan and I were around this, was we lived in Toronto during the era of like Broken Social Scene and all those fucking shithead Toronto bands and arts and crafts records. And my favorite ever is a friend of mine was hit on because the bass player from Broken Social went, "I'm the bass player from Broken Social." And she said, "What is that?" And he went, "What?" And she went, "What is that?" And then he went around the bar getting people to tell her who Broken Social Scene was. And at the end, he said, "You want my number?" And she went, "Absolutely not." And he left the bar. And that makes me really happy.
Yeah, and then she said, "Feed my pussy. It's never gonna be fucking this full again."
First of all, you know the person I'm referring to. And if we ever can get that person to say "feed my pussy," I'm filming it. And that's what's being played on my gravestone.
Your mom. So wait, Sam Hyde's own fan base has trolled him to the point where, like, seemingly, this is what I've inferred. Please let us know. His own fan base is the one that got him canceled and almost scrubbed from the internet, it seems like.
Yeah.
Because they kept sharing his image, and like also a donation. The guy from the Daily Stormer, the Nazi newspaper website, was sued, and then a large donation in Sam Hyde's name was made
To Andrew Anglin. Yeah. Like, it's really
that's why, and that was like, okay, so it's like he's so trolly and does so many pranks and like dark fucking pranks. It seems like maybe his own fan base basically got him banned from a bunch of shit. Like, and she wears, and this is one of the biggest artists in the world wearing this shirt that's like one of the fucking darkest trolls on the internet.
Yeah.
And she still has 24 point something million. And by the way, all this racist stuff, or like all this fucking, I don't even want to say race, whatever. All this shit fucking isn't the reason she lost 1 million followers. It was just going after her own fans. So I feel like
it's
still within the system. Like, it's a very interesting, like, what will this ever actually fall off? I feel like she's just going to grow her hair back and it'll be like a fucking, she seems like she's probably like a big Bowie fan. It's probably like
what I would, yeah,
Bowie showed up dressed as a fucking Nazi.
Yeah, what this sounds like is she's very smartly identified the fact that the main goal of media right now is stay in the media cycle. And at a certain point, it doesn't matter what you're in the media cycle for. It just matters that you're in the media cycle. She's figured that, like, I know the name Doja Cat. I have no idea why. And it's because these controversies keep her in the fucking mix. You know what I'm saying? Like, Lady Gaga is having trouble fucking, like, I mean, that's not true, but like, if you're not Taylor Swift, you are not in show business. Like, you have to kind of, Taylor Swift's still having to fucking, you know, she has partnered with the NFL to become the biggest celebrity ever. Doja Cat does not have that. So she's called Richard Spencer up and the boys who all live in Whitefish, Wyoming, and went, "Hey, you got any merch I can wear?"
But she's like, you can totally see how when someone's online for that long, they have no fucking social circle. It's just fucking crazy that it's like one of the biggest rappers in the world is also on 4chan, to the point where it's like now she has to answer for being on message boards too much. Once again, man, like, I never did any shit like this, but like, there's like just footage of me pissing on fucking financial documents that might exist. Like, fucking the amount of just petty crime I committed, stopping at hard stopping when I lost my virginity. I was like, I don't need to commit these weird crimes, but yeah,
that's so funny because I know someone who still commits petty crimes, and he shags a lot. He's a real shagger. Maybe he's doing it.
It got to go either way. One of my friends cut the power to someone's house.
What are you talking about?
I pushed over a garbage can. I was like, the garbage is everywhere. And he was like, check this out. And they just cut a cord. And I was like, what does that cord do? He's like, I think it's their TV. And I'm like, okay. See, I like big smash things go everywhere. You just did like, you know what I mean? It's like the
Oh, yeah.
idea of like
Oh yeah.
seeing a car crash versus just like, no, they don't have a sense of smell. I just turned the gas lead on. They're gonna die.
I know a guy who used whenever he's in someone's house, he would try and steal the phone.
That's good.
It's just the best move was then he would then smash the phone in front of their house. Meaning more than once I know that a dad came home after their teenage child. Where's the fucking kitchen phone? What the fuck is this?
Oh yeah. What was me and my friend Adrian once got drunk and like, we're not gonna like talk to
Sober.
girls.
That guy has never drank. That guy's never drank.
That's
that guy's
crazy.
never sworn. Very
Never
deeply
sworn.
Christian. Never sworn. Would always steal the phone. Steal the phone and smash it in front of the house. It was one of those ones where it's like, holy fuck, when you snap, we are dead.
The one day he just rolls his eyes back in his head. Like, we gotta get out of here.
I gotta say this again. Didn't you need to leave 15 minutes
I
ago?
want to tell this fucking shitty story. Let's go. All right. Anyway, here's the thing about having dirty, useless sex is that like the stuff I do now sucks, and the stuff I did when I was terrified of women, I still stand by as being pretty fun. But we're at a party that was such a mess. We're like, where are the people that own this place? And they're like, oh, she's so drunk. I was like, all right. So what we did was me and my friend Adrian moved their living room outside onto the lawn and then just left.
That's really good. Oh, that's good.
It was a very minimalist living room, so it was possible. There was no big couch to move, but it was just like slowly. Everyone was so hammered, and we were just like, we just put it all outside, and then we just left.
I mean, this was discovered last year.
And then I fucking put him as a school shooter. Continue.
A buddy of mine at a house party where he was going through a breakup. This guy's a bit destructive. He drop kicked all the house plants, like full drop kicked, smashed them all. Every room that had a house plant, he drop kicked them. He was found doing this by the girlfriend of the couple that lived in this house. You know, I don't know if you guys had these friends with like two people that were dating in high school. They barely got like they're like third year in university. They moved in together and acted like they live in the fucking suburbs. She caught him doing this in their apartment and said, "What are you doing?" And he said, "Oh, John did it. I only did this one." And that girl did not speak to me until last year because she thought I had done that. And I want to point this out. I wasn't at the party. I also did not live in Ottawa, Ontario at the time. I lived in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. And that person was like, "Yeah, why did you do that?" And I was like, "I'm now angry at you for being so fucking stupid."
I think you did it.
I didn't do it.
I'm a John Truther. John, still, do you know what Doja Cat looks like now, or did I
looked her up while you were talking about Sam Hyde.
Yeah, I do appreciate the fact that she fucking basically was a yum hottie, and then she basically tried to make herself as ugly as possible. But I mean, it didn't work because she has a video where she pretends to be the devil, and I was like, oh, I want to fuck that devil, you know? So anyway.
Yeah, it is weird that you put that. That was the only note for this show. It just said, "I want to fuck that devil."
She put a tail on. Now I want to fuck her. That's all caps. Actually, no, some were capitalized, some weren't. It was like
I'm
like
into women with tails. Woof woof woof. Bow wow wow.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. If it's a hot lady bent over, you can fucking put whatever you want on there. You could just dress up like an oven, a fridge box with a butt out. Why not?
Oh my god, you don't even. Yeah, just fucking come covered in. If you're hot enough, you can show up covered in mucus, and I'll hose you off, and then we'll have at it.
I don't know. Wait, so you just recreate your own birth? That's fucking hot, dude.
Whoa, did you just come out of my mom? My dream.
That's where we're gonna stop, guys. Next week, I think we're gonna be talking about John's mom. No, next week, I don't know. John, what do you want to talk about?
Now, what do I want to talk about? I want to
do another apology breakdown. I want to talk about someone's long apology.
Oh, yeah. What's a really...
I really like the Kramer one. I really liked Kramer's apology.
Can you guys send us in when you hear this episode? We might put this up on social media. What are your favorite apologies that have gone wrong?
That's a great idea. Yes. Put up, what are your favorite apologies gone wrong? I assume we'll get 2 comments and they'll all be like something about wrestling.
That time Abraham Lincoln apologized.
7 years ago, I put my fingers in that tight little culo and I fucking don't regret it.
Oh my. Okay, Dylan, we have to stop because I'm literally about to shit my pants.
I'm gonna fucking come. Bye bye.